And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another OSR Tabletop with myself, GM Bloodworth. Happy New Year to all of those that are, obviously celebrating the new year 2026. And that's what this whole live stream is going to be about. 2026, the year of the OSR and Independent Tabletop role-playing games. I certainly want to ask out there and see what you are all looking forward to playing for this upcoming year. I will be talking about some of the games that I am already slated to be either running or playing in 2026. And through that exchange of, shared experiences or shared expectations, maybe I'll find a few more games to look into based on your recommendations, and perhaps you will pick up on a few of those that I'll be talking about as well. So, without further ado, let me just start saying hello to those that are popping in. So, hey, Bo, how's it going? Always good to have you here. And yeah, Bo has a channel as well. So, everyone that comes in, this is something that I'm going to be doing with 2026 and my live streams in particular. So if you have a YouTube channel, please feel free to just put your channel's name in the comments section. That way, everyone watching this, or whether it's now or later on, once it becomes a recording to be viewed later on, everyone will be, tipped off on the fact that you also have a YouTube channel. And, and I love being able to share out, those channels that I also, really enjoy watching myself. And I can't always do the, we are limited as to how many that we can share with, as far as like hyping or things like that. So yeah, definitely check out my live streams and in the chats for other people who have YouTube channels. So anyway, let's see who else we have here. So we have Cathodic Musings. Welcome, and fairly certain you have a channel as well. So again, don't be hesitant to advertise your channels on my chat log here. Another thing I'm doing a little differently is that I'm showing on the stream the chat, so that people can see that when it does go into recording mode. And so that was something I hadn't been doing previously. So I'm just testing it out. If you prefer it this way, then I will continue doing so. I don't think it obscures too much what what I'm putting out there. So anyway, let's see. You are running your own. So you're playing in Shadows. So you're playing in Shadow and Sons, another YouTube channel, and one of my players in my home games. So you're playing in his Barrows and Borderlands, and you're running your own, or getting ready to, correct? Running your own. And yeah, I have to touch bases with the two of you to see exactly when you're running them, and to try to figure out when I have some openings in my schedule to play in your games. As always, my ear trumpet, welcome, and thank you again. And let's see who. So Driving and Dragons has received a free membership from you. So I hopefully he will catch this and get the notification. And yeah, I have to pop over onto his channel and say hello as well. I follow some, like, almost 300 channels. Virtually all of them are OSR or independent focused channels. There are that many of us out there involved with the tabletop role-playing game hobby, and in particular, whether it's old school or independent games, And then there's a few others that, I'd say about 90% are OSR indie in my selection. And then there's a number that are computer RPGs. Like I follow Fallout and Skyrim and those. And then there's a few others that I just throw in there, kind of things of interest that come across that I don't normally carry over into my own channel. So I try to keep my channel very, very focused on gaming, and in particular, old school Renaissance, old school revival, old school role playing, and then independent games as well. So let's see. You're going to paint more, paint more minis. Yes. Uh, you don't have a channel. Yes, I know you don't have a channel, but you're everywhere. So it's almost like we can run into you on so many other streamers. So that's pretty cool. Um, yes, Driving and Dragons has a channel, and I follow it. I watch it quite frequently. Um, my B&B is going to be on the BX Soup, some Arduin, some OSE, and a lot of old supplements, all the world's monsters, the Necromonicon, and everything else. Yeah, so that sounds really cool. And I have to start digging into. I mean, I got the box set of Barrows and Borderlands, so now I have to start actually reading through it and digging into it. I literally just came off like a 13-day vacation. I go back to work tomorrow, so and I'm starting up some of my own campaigns. Starting Tuesday is my our first session of Dragon Slayer RPG. So I'm really, really excited about this new campaign. I'm doing some things new with it. So I am starting off with my players are starting off with their characters being levels 2 and 3. Shadow and Sun in particular was like, hey GM, can we not start at level 1? Again, now my players have been with me for quite a number of years, and they've been through probably about five of my campaigns over those last 4 years, let's say. And every one of those campaigns, regardless of game system, has had them start out at first level. So they were kind of like, you know what, or he in particular was like, to just start off at the ground level again after we kind of know each other's play styles and whatnot. It's like to just start with a little bit more meat on our bones, and a little bit more more survivability, and a few more abilities and whatnot. And this is in 5e, where you're starting off at third level, and you're nearly superhuman. So it is still you have enough hit points that you can handle something that is a 3 hit die creature, and then not run the risk of getting killed after getting hit twice. So it should be a lot of fun. I do anticipate that Dragon Slayer is going to be a little bit more lethal than some of the other game systems that we've run. But we'll see. We'll see how it compares out to AD&D First Edition and Castles and Crusades. I am not using a very robust critical hits and fumbles table. Basically, a critical hit just does you roll your damage die twice, as opposed to just once, and fumbles, you're basically out for the rest of that round, and potentially a second round after that, just trying to get back on your footing or whatnot. So it should be really, really interesting to see how it works out with this new game system. So I'm excited about that. Let's see, who else do we have here? Hey, Steve, how's it going? Good to have you in here. Now, I am going to open this up For anybody that wants to join in, you're welcome to join in. Also, uh, you may you may hear better quality, and that's because I do have my new microphone. So if you're no longer having difficulty hearing me speak, volume setting and everything, let me know. Let me know that it has in fact improved and whatnot. Um, it should have. I haven't heard anybody in the last couple of days say that it's still hard to hear me. So anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, and it's kind of out of the way as well. So it's yeah, I'm overall happy with it. I'm not using that screen that blocks it from sounding like I'm in a tin can, I guess, or popping. I think they say it causes like popping without it. So I will let me know if you get any kind of distortion or anything like that. Because if we are, I can always get one of those little foam cover things that you put on. But anyhow, so let me get that invite out there in case anyone wants to join in. And I'm going to continue talking about um, 2026 and my upcoming games that I'm going to be looking to run. So I've already mentioned Dragon Slayer, and Dragon Slayer is going to be my primary game system that I'm running, and that is going to be my Tuesday night game with my core 6 players, and yeah, really looking forward to it. They have a well balanced group. I will be doing some recaps with that as well. Um, so long as you guys are interested in actually watching those recaps, but I will be doing recaps with them and let you know how that campaign is going. I am integrating some new things, some new supplements into that particular campaign. So I'm super excited about it. Um, I'm hoping to land a spot in playing in Greg Gillespie's game at Central New York RPG Con in June. So I'm waiting to see what that schedule works out. And actually, I'm thinking of calling the hotel tomorrow and expanding my stay. I was only going to stay over one night, but I might extend that into Sunday. I got to double check and see which one I booked for 2 nights. I know I have to probably do that for Rising Phoenix in April, is extend my stay there so that I can squeeze in another game Saturday night and then potentially something Sunday morning. Um, so anyway, that's looking forward to getting some gaming at conventions in as well. Speaking of conventions, so I am going to be running quite a bit of Shadow Dark at the conventions. So I'm hoping that I have the Western Reaches Kickstarter in hand by April. But if not, I will prepare that for the latter part of the year, and I'll probably end up doing a home campaign, which is all virtual for me, a virtual campaign again with Shadow Dark. So that is another game system that I will be prominently throughout. I think that once Western Reaches comes into play, and Western Reaches, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically taking the old school hex crawl system and integrating that type of gameplay into Shadow Dark. And so I'm really excited to see how Dion takes that process of running those types of campaigns and really does integrate it into her game system. So yeah, that's definitely for those that argue that Shadow Dark is like old school adjacent and not truly an OSR game system. Um, everything that she looks to do with the game. And the way that she's looking to try to run it is is something that I think is solidly places it within the OSR. And you can dispute me on that if you wish, but you're not going to convince me otherwise. So anyway, let me see who else we have here. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Crisper overall and less of an echo than before. Great. So that's perfect. Thank you for that. You sound just fine. Never had a problem hearing you. Yeah, it was usually, I think, cell phone users were having difficulty hearing me sometimes, and it is what it is. But I'm glad to have gotten rid of the old microphone, and and so far, knock on wood, it's been working fine. Let's see. Hey, Mike, how's it going? What's up? And so again, if you want to join in, you can join in the chat here. So what else do I have coming up? So I have I'm running a Thursday night Hyperborea campaign, and I'm hoping to get a new player for this upcoming Thursday. Uh, so that I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that happens. Otherwise, I think I'm going to have to search for a new night than Thursday night for whatever reason. Hyperborea Third Edition has not been kicking off on Thursday nights for me again for whatever reason. I'm having a similar issue with Gangbusters BX that I run, and that's this here. So Gangbusters, which was recently released, this is the extended edition of it, or the expert edition of it, that was put out by Wizard Tower Games, still written by Mark Hunt primarily, and it's a great game. I really enjoy it. Paul is in my group along with my one of my longtime players, Lee, and she's really enjoying it too. But just the two of them. I wish I had one or two more players. And what I like about this system is that it does allow me to run a 2-hour game session, because that's typically how much time we actually have before Lee has to go off and take care of her daily business. This is a morning game, so this is 9 a.m. to 11:30ish a.m. Eastern time, Thursday mornings, and we've been playing for quite a number of weeks now, probably about 9 or 10 weeks that they've been doing in a game session. And the short sessions of 2 hours, because there are so few players, you actually get quite a bit done. And that's another really interesting dynamic to see how that actually plays out. The fewer the number of players you have, the more you get done within that same, even the shortened time block, like 2 hours. So yeah, if you were playing with just one player, you'd be amazed at how much you get done in even a shorter time period, like an hour and a half. I wouldn't recommend going just an hour, because that doesn't really compensate the individual player with a good use of his or her time. But yeah, if you have just one player, an hour and a half, I've done that with Conan 2D20. It works well with just one player, and you get a lot done in that short period of time. So anyway, I think people place too much emphasis on what is and what isn't true OSR. It seems to me OSR is more of a mindset than a brand name. Yes, and I agree. It's more of an approach of gaming, or it's a systematic approach. It's a feel to it. It is a gameplay kind of, like what you're looking to get from it. And yeah, so I think it's a number of things. And you know, when people say, well, that's not a true OSR, or that's not that's not the way to play something or whatnot, it's it's not that important. Um, in arguing back and forth over that, just run the games or play the games that you enjoy playing, and it doesn't matter really what label someone puts onto something. It's a you know it's just something that you don't need to spend any real time arguing back and forth over, because you're not going to convince um, zealots on one side or the other of that argument. So you just do what you enjoy doing at your table. Let's see what else. So uh, I'm preparing to play in a game. Yes, I'm finally getting to play as a player in a game of old school essentials. It's been quite some time. I've played a session or two of old school essentials, quite some time ago, a couple of years ago, probably when this first came out. And this is getting an update in 2026. So in this year, there will be an update of this, basically making it, stripping it of any connection to the OGL. And now, whether or not that's going to be useful to buy or not, or to back if it's coming out on backer kit or not, is really up to you. Um, I'm leaning towards just going with this and staying with this, but I'll see. I'll see. It's probably why I got this for so cheap. I got both the players and the game masters books for like $31, and then the shipping and handling and everything like that, and the tax, it came out to like $50 for the two books. So it was pretty much a bargain, and absolutely love the system, and looking forward to playing it. So, but yeah, it's coming out with a an OGL-less version of it this year, and that might get another resurgence of its popularity as well. So I'm definitely expecting to see more OSC out there in the wild at conventions being run. Just like I'm anticipating seeing a little bit more Dragon Slayer out there as well. I'm certainly going to promote that game system. And I might even get around to the point where I'm running that at conventions. Let's see what else I have brought up. So the other game that I'm going to be running at a convention, yes, it is. It's a good rule set. It reminds me a lot of how old Redbox rules came across. Yes, it is very clean and direct, and easy to pick up. Now, the other um, the other thing is Fallout. So I ran this for the first time at a convention at last June at CNY RPG Con, and that was an incredible experience. 100% based on the players first. I mean, they were great players in that group, and really did make, I think, all of our experience was just the players that we have there. It was a multi-generational table. So there was, a young kid, maybe 12-ish, possibly even younger, and his father, and then the rest were just, old grognards like myself, or some couple people like younger than me, but still probably in their 30s, 40s, and it was a great experience. The Fallout system, which is Modifius does some really, really good stuff. I mean, it's not always hitting it out of the ballpark. Like that first edition of Star Trek was not that great. From what I hear, the second edition is much improved, and this plays very much like Savage Worlds to a certain extent. So it's I like this system. This really works well, especially in a convention like setting. It gives um, enough action, to really keep it very cinematic, and it keeps the pace of a game session going very, very well. And yes, it is still, more lethal than, let's say, 5e or something, and it gives you a lot more versatility of what you can do with this. So yeah, this is my one independent game that is not a D&D derivative game system that I am going to continue running throughout the course of 2026. I might even look to restart up a campaign of Fallout once again. I used to run Fallout in my Thursday morning slot until that group kind of fell apart. People started, hey, I can't make it anymore. My work hours changed and that kind of thing. So so I have and struggle with the meta currencies, especially the GM having meta currency. Um, well, I typically don't use the GM meta currency, and I didn't use that for Conan 2D20 either. If I felt like the players needed a greater challenge, I just threw it at them. I didn't care about the doom mechanic or any of those things. But the players, I actually gave them access to even more meta currencies, like just based on if they had really successful rolls and such, I would give them more coins to then spend. And I found that that makes the whole experience much more cinematic. It makes it much more just like over the top within now without it being and maybe over the top is a little bit too much to say, but it certainly made it something that just jumped off the page. It came out and it just made it much more action packed, much faster paced, much more exciting and enjoyable, and just a lot of fun. And in a convention like setting, that is just that's gold. I mean, you were hitting the gold, the gold mark there, because the player's going to have a great time at the table. And when my players are having a great time at the table, I am having a great time at the table as well. So it is an all around great experience with it. So yeah, if you're Zarion, if you're struggling with the meta currency for the GM, then don't run it with the GM. The GM doesn't need a meta currency. The GM will adjust the pace of everything as needed, and that's very old school, right? That's rulings over rules, and that is doing what you need to do at your table to make your table more enjoyable. We are playing these games for fun, so that's the other thing. Um, hey, RPG Grandma, I missed your thing here, and thank you for reminding everybody to like and subscribe and to do all of that stuff. And RPG Grandma has a great channel as well. She is doing a deep dive into Star Frontiers. Highly recommend that you check that out. And again, I'm hoping that you get around to actually running, an online Star Frontiers. I would love to play in your game, because I know how much you love that system, and it comes off in your videos. So everyone, check out the RPG Grandma, and particularly her series on Star Frontiers. It's awesome stuff. So let's see. I'm going to go sitting on my back porch with my dog. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Steve, and it's good to hear you. And Happy New Year. So thanks for stopping in. The OSR Dwarf. Hey, how's it going? Just got through playing another session of Darker, How's it going this evening? It is going well, and I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that game, so maybe it's something I'll take a look at. Um, Although I am currently like I'm saving up for my convention in April. I know that sounds like it's a kind of a ways off, but it's a 2 day, a 2 day convention, and I'm going to be super super busy, and so I don't really need to dig into anything new right now. Plus, I literally just before the break bought about $120 worth of Lamentations of the Flame Princess, which you see over here. Plus, on top of that, uh, James Raggy gave me a bunch of things to review as well, including two of the biggest titles I think of 2025 for Lamentations. So that was Nebulith and then another a 3 volume set that was the set in Virginia, the Jamestown colony of Virginia in 1633. So that's another one that is, a book that's going to take me a long time, or series, I should say. It's going to take me a long time to break that down and to check that out. But yeah, I'm kind of tapped out right now for new systems. But let's see. Yeah, I will definitely check it out. When I do get a chance. So just playing through. Let's see, just playing through. That was you. Okay. So again, if anyone who wants to pop in, I will put the link there, and you can jump in and talk about whatever game system you are looking to run. Now, the other thing I just got, so I finally got the physical copy of the For Against Darkness, the expanded edition. So this, I think, pretty much takes a couple of the previous supplements and includes it into the core rules. So you can go to a higher level. You can go to a higher level with this, or face higher level monsters with this particular one. And I will go into much more, detail with this now that I have the physical and I have the PDF. Obviously, I bought the PDF first, and this is looking really cool. So this is probably the easiest solo tabletop RPG that I have encountered thus far. It's a really great system, and yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's Edgelord. It is definitely, and it was $21 on Amazon. So yeah, make sure that it has that price on there. Don't worry too much about what it says. Like if it says 2017 printing, that was the original. But if you see this cover and you see the $21, when you purchase this, it will be the correct one. And like I said, I bought the PDF first. So yeah, I basically suggest that you get both if you can. I don't think that this was on drive-through. I don't think it had the soft cover on drive-through, at least yet. At least it wasn't there like last week. So I grabbed it off of Amazon. I had some gift cards for Amazon, so I was like, all right, I'll get it from Amazon instead. I got the PDF from Drive-Through RPG, and that is, that was a good way for me to go with that. So yeah, is a great system for a forever DM. It gives me a chance to play. I look forward to getting the new edition. Yes, it is. It's a great system for. It's a good system for play testing your adventures that are very D&D based adventures as well. So yes, that is. That's what I did with it in some cases. Like you can take this system and you can take a game adventure that you're writing for a different system, and kind of mix them together and play test it. So this works out for that kind of a thing, like randomizing dungeons and whatnot. So um, you will you will do well by buying this. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. And I often don't tell people how to spend their money. Uh, this I safely say you will love this game system. Hey, thank you very much for that. Becoming a member there, Edgelord King. So that comes with various perks. So when you get the chance to join my Discord, if you're not there already, if you are there already, go in there and tell me that you have just become a member, and I'll give you the membership tag. And that way, if you're looking to jump in on any of my games, you will get first dibs in jumping into any of the games that I'm running. Yes, it is money well spent. I will say that again. I was surprised I wasn't green. Oh, all right. So anyway, and I will be giving away some free memberships as well. It's the start of a new month, and so I get 10 a month to give away, and I always give away some at the very beginning and 5 at the very end to wrap up the whole thing. And then it is up to you if you want to extend that beyond the first month free. And I treat everybody, pretty much the same. If you want to play in one of my games and you're a frequent person on my channel here, whether it's in the comments section. If I have room for you, I will take you in. I've run groups as large as 10 players, although that's a bit much, but I can do it. But I do like to have at least 5 or 6. So I do have openings in my games for people if you're in those proper spots. So yeah, if you go to my channel, or my Discord channel, I should say, and you say, "Hey, you know, I'm available to play these particular, days and hours and whatnot," and or here's a game system I'd like to play in. If I have it, then we can set something up. I'm thinking of doing like a Fallout for a solo player and see how that kind of works out. I think that that would actually be kind of fun to do as well. So yeah, Hyperborea Third Edition for the win. Yes, that's a great system. I it is very very tied to its setting, and which is which is both a good thing, but I think it does scare some people off that might not be as knowledgeable about that particular setting. And but Jeffrey Talanian is coming out with either a backer kit or a Kickstarter where he's kickstarting the primary city of for the world there in a supplement. So it is going to be a source book, a setting book for the system, and I'm all over that. I am buying that thing as soon as it hits, because that's something I really really want to have to use at my table. And that will carry Hyperborea Third Edition probably for me over into 2027, if anything. So I'm looking forward to that hitting the market. Um, so I've heard good things about Hyperborea. A buddy of mine runs it. Hopefully soon I'll play in his game. Yeah, yeah, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. I've played in Jeffrey Talanian's game of it, and twice now, and it's great. It's a great system, and I've run it now for a couple of weeks. I've run about 5 or 6 sessions of it, and it does require more players than just 2 to show up. So that's the biggest stumbling block for it. You do need more players for that game. I would run it with a minimum of 4. And that I think is the thing. The box set is going to be fire. Oh, it's going to be a box set on top of that, so that's even better. Yeah, I'm super stoked for that. So yeah, I'm waiting for more announcements on it. I got to double check with uh, Jeffrey and see. So if he wants to talk about it, certainly when it's about to go into Kickstarter or backer kit, whichever he's going to go with that, I want to have him come on the channel and talk it up. So yeah, looking forward to it. So I think I just went through all of the game systems that I am running. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game systems, 2026. And I have Mike looking to join. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Look at that.
Yeah, you got like a...
Yeah, it's like I'm blocking out the camera. I don't know what happened. It's been acting kind of strange.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of. I know it's kind of mystical, right? Like,
yeah, it's like a
redacted photo.
Yeah, it's like you got a chocolate stain on your.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Let me see if I can screw around with this a little bit. See if I can. Oh, there we go.
Well, there you go.
Maybe I'll just be like a talking condominium and be a background.
Yeah.
That's just happy Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah, that's why I don't use backgrounds or anything like that. My back, it's real behind me.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I'll grab Conan's father's sword off my wall to show you that it's.
Yeah, I'm going to be a talking condo today for some reason. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, you can't see me because I'm out by the pool, but yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. A talking thumb.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good night, Steve. If that's you're checking out. Oh no, the other Steve was saying that he was going to check out. How's it going, Stephen Kennedy? Good to see you. So yeah, so what are you getting ready to play, Mike, or hoping to play, or looking to run during 2026?
So my work schedule is a bit difficult because I work at night, so that kind of puts me and I'm West Coast, and I feel like all of you guys are Central or East, so that always kind of makes it difficult. But right now I'm playing in a OSE Gods of the Forbidden North game on Saturday nights, which is pretty cool and kind of crazy. I have the book, I haven't read it, but I didn't really realize like just how detailed it is. But it's a lot of fun. I'm playing that on Saturday, and then coming up next week, I'm going to be playing a Limitations game with my friend Mark Hess, who's like an OSR creator. He created he's got this really great zine called Death Colony, I believe, which takes place in the Virginia colony in like the 1600s in America. Okay. So we're supposed to be starting out with that. So that's he's a really big Limitations guy. So I'm looking forward. That'll be fun.
So I'm assuming he's running this. Then he's running the. Let me grab it. So Jamestown and Environs. This is for the true relation of the Great Virginia Disastrum of 1633.
He's actually got his own zine that he created called Death Colony. And he's got 3 of them. That are his own thing that he did that takes place in the same time period.
Same time period, yeah.
Yeah, they came out before those actually. So so I'm looking forward to it. He lives like in the area, so it should be a lot of fun. He's also got like a timeline of the 1600s, which has like like real life historical events, and then a lot of like cool fantasy horror type stuff thrown in there. So I've been a fan of his for a long time, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely let me know about how that's going and everything like that. I'm sure we will chat and talk about that. Let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
I was thinking of adding in Lamentations into my rotation here and see, but I already have 7 games I'm looking to run.
That's a lot.
It's like,
yeah.
It's
That's
like, even though I'm spreading them out over the whole year and everything like that, it's like, like Lamentations might have to wait another year, and I'll look to rotate one of these out and bring something else in. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I won't pass up a chance to play it at a convention, but
Right.
I have to split my time 50-50 between playing and running at conventions,
Yeah.
so it gets kind of hard to work things into the scheduling when
Right.
when I'm running 2 games a day. And then I like to at least get that middle portion of the day that's just wide open for me just to walk around and see what else is going on and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's, it is a challenge. Yes, it's definitely a challenge to squeeze in as much gaming as you possibly can, and you know, still maintain a family life and even semi-retired. There still isn't enough days, enough hours in the day or enough free spots in the week for me to get all of the gaming I'd love to get done.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a really good job. I mean, it's, you've got it. I mean, you definitely make it a priority. I know a lot of folks that have all kinds of things going on, and they just don't, they don't make it happen, and
Yeah,
I think which is understandable. I get people
yeah,
under a
yeah,
lot of different, I get that. So I'm definitely not telling people what they should or shouldn't do, but I think for the hobby in general, I think this the most important thing is just to be active somehow,
yeah,
have a game going on somehow. I think there's a lot, unfortunately, I think there's a lot of folks who kind of just get stuck with like collecting books and talking about them, and they don't actually get a lot of time playing or running games. And
right.
they're all, that's what we're here to do, is actually play. Right.
Yeah. I think that the internet has really helped that out,
Yeah.
and getting people to connect with other people that are, like you're on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast.
Right.
We could find a mutual time to play that would never happen if it was just in person, unless you're
Right.
schlepping all the way out to the East Coast for a convention or vice versa,
Right.
and I mean, certainly during COVID, I mean, I was playing with people from, 5 different continents. It was
Right.
like,
Right. Yeah.
it was like literally, um, yeah, we have probably like every place but, Antarctica. And actually, I was playing with somebody from Morocco. So I did have
There you
Africa
go.
in there as well. And um, expats in the Philippines. So, yeah, you know, I had the states, obviously, North America, South America. I had players from Brazil in a group as well, and
Yeah.
then Africa, everything but the Middle East. I don't think I had one Israeli player, but she was in Germany at the time, so
Uh-huh.
she was like, that's So I didn't have anybody from the Middle East, but everywhere else, yes.
But speaking of which, I don't know if you saw a little while ago, but Luke Gygax posted a bunch of photos of him going to some gaming convention in Saudi Arabia or somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And I was like, good for him, because I'd like to think I'm pretty well read politically. I had no idea they even allowed stuff like that there. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Yeah, it's kind of odd that they would.
right.
Um,
I guess they're
but it's not going to be the same the same versions of the games that you have elsewhere.
right.
You know what I'm saying? They definitely control the content of it.
Right.
So you're not playing Strixhaven at
Yeah, right,
in
right.
Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia.
Any of their other stuff, right.
Just not going to happen.
Right.
Or China for that matter.
Right.
Yes, they do very, very much. They do very much censor
Right.
materials in some of those countries.
That was just the last place. I mean, good for him, by the way. I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm not talking shit or anything, but it sounded like a cool trip. I was like, what? Well,
yeah,
okay, well, cool. Okay, good for you, man.
yeah,
Good luck listening to Slayer and Cannibal Corpse, but I'm glad you can play D&D.
yeah. Well, like I
Uh,
said, like I said, they're not going to let you play Strixhaven.
yeah,
It's
right,
like,
right, right.
yeah, the just not gonna, the gay prom is not gonna not
No,
gonna
it's
go
not going to
well
be
over there.
happening. Right,
You
right, yeah,
know, um,
yeah. Well, you're
or gay dwarven bakers not
yeah.
gonna go.
No, you're not going to be a barista. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
doesn't doesn't not sure what their identity is or whatever. Yeah, when I wanted to mention about the playing online is I was playing in person for a long time. I tried to emphasize that, but I kind of came to the conclusion that I have to kind of emphasize playing online because I just got
mhm,
tired of all the nonsense, all the
right.
typical stuff that people complain about. And I'm not like some big hard ass that expects everyone to be, it's not a job. I don't expect everyone
Right.
to be like, things happen. I get it. It's not a big deal. I don't take it personally. But when you're a dungeon master and you're actually spending time putting a game together, and then it's like every bullshit thing happens and people don't show up, or people show up, it just kind of gets old, week after week.
Yeah.
And I kind of had to just say to myself, well, I mean, this is something I really enjoy doing, and the people that are, that the more serious people, or the people that really want to prioritize this with their time, are online. So I kind of need to emphasize that, like I need to
Yeah.
kind of go where the people are. So I always, I mean, analog is always better, but at the end of the day, it's like you want to be playing, and I don't want to
Yeah.
be wasting my
Yeah.
time every week,
Exactly.
having game night on Saturday or whatever, and then it like gets canceled last minute. I'm like, well, why was I putting an adventure together all week? And when I could have been doing something else. It's just
Yeah.
gets old. Typical stuff, like typical people stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as adults,
Yeah,
which most of us are, um, you know, things come into play and it's like, you know what, it's unexpected, oh crap, I got to go to work today, that I wasn't planning
yeah,
on,
yeah.
or, you
Right.
know, um, you know, wife's car needs an oil change, or whatever. I mean, just things come up, and life does take priority over gaming. You know,
Right.
so it just happens. That's something. When we were kids, it was so much easier when we were kids, because it's like you know, I used to play. We used to play like 6 days a week. And we used to play every day after school, and we played for 3-4 hours after school. Back then, you used to get out home from school at like 2:20 in the afternoon, and then we used to play until dinner time at like 6:30. So we used to play
That's
four
awesome.
hours a
Yeah.
day every single day,
Right.
and homework was done, if at all, either just before it was due in the morning, or it was done like after dinner, kind of thing.
Right.
Um, and then all day Saturday we would play. And my particular group, I mean, we played so many different games, but AD&D First Edition was at least 3 times a week.
Oh
And
yeah.
then the other 3 days was Twilight 2000 if I was running it, or James Bond, Victory Games, James Bond 007. Um, we played Toon, Steve Jackson's Toon. We played a little bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not a whole lot. We play Call of Cthulhu quite a bit.
Yeah.
Star Frontiers.
You
What,
guys
what?
ran the gambit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we played about 20 different games during that 10-year span of time, and we did. We mixed it up a lot. Um, we played virtually everything that TSR put out. Um, threw in some solo games like GURPS Conan. Solo play was something I was doing quite a bit. We played GURPS once in a while
Yeah.
as well. Villains and Vigilantes was another big one that we
Yeah.
played, quite often, almost weekly. We played that. So it was, yeah. We had 3 game masters rotating,
Yeah.
different games out. So it made it a little bit easier
Yeah.
to
Right.
do that.
Yeah, I don't. I like I said, I'm not. I'm not trying to come off like some kind of a hard ass. Like, oh, I want a serious. We're really serious. No,
Yeah,
we're doing this for fun. It's not
yeah,
supposed to be. It's not. I'm not a boss at a job. This is not what. But the problems I was having were very like. They were very careless and just needless. It wasn't like life stuff happens. It was just like chronically, and I just like I'm not going to feel like a loser for prioritizing my hobby that I enjoy. So I'm going to
right,
just find people that also want to have a reasonable expectation, just like I do, you
yeah,
know? So I get that. I mean, things happen. I get it totally. I mean, we're supposed to be doing this for fun. It's
yeah,
not some kind of big homework assignment or whatever. It's not supposed to be a
right,
stressor, but you got to show up. And I mean, when you play online, it's like, if stuff happens, then you didn't have to drive anywhere.
yeah. Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like
It's just,
a lower
and it
commitment.
is. It's like, I hate when it happens because it's something on my end. You
Right.
know,
Well, stuff happens. Yeah.
yeah, but stuff happens. And it's just part of the difficulty of, and like I mentioned earlier, it's like certain time slots just don't pan
Oh
out.
yeah. Yeah.
It's like that Thursday morning is really kind of hard to get it. Get more people involved with it, and even though we're having a pretty good time with just two players, it's just I wish there was three or four.
Right.
My Thursday night game, I wish it was three or four.
Right.
Same thing. My Tuesday night, I can have up to 10 players on Tuesday night if I wanted to,
Oh, totally.
and they'll be there all the time,
Right.
so certain nights a week are just easy to attract people.
That's cool that you're making it happen though. I mean, it's like even with two players. I mean, I think that's really cool. I mean, number of years ago, I got to the point where I was just, even amongst my friends, I was just going to do like an open table thing. Like, we're playing on Saturday, whoever
Yeah,
shows up, we're playing. I don't care if it's one other person. Like, we're just going to make it happen. Like,
yeah,
just trying to be as flexible as I possibly could with people, right? Anticipating. That's cool that you're making it happen. You're having a good time. I mean, I don't. Um, I'm surprised I don't hear about that more often with smaller groups.
yeah. Yeah, it's just again, it's certain game systems you can pull it off with just one person showing up.
Yeah.
But other game systems you just need everybody there,
Right.
or almost everybody there. You
Right.
know, yeah, it's kind of hard, and I hate as a game master running player characters as NPCs,
Oh, right. Right.
for the session and everything, especially more complicated ones like magic users and such. It's like,
Right.
oh, I just can't stand it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, now with my large group, it's like so we've had like 6 or 7 or even as many as 8 players on a more consistent basis, and when like 3 don't show up, for whatever reason, they usually tell me ahead of time, hey, I can't make it. Once I hit like 3, I'm like, all right, we're just going to chat, and you're free not to, tell the rest of the players.
Right.
I don't like having 3 of 8 not being there. Even though
Right.
5 is like you could pull it off, but it's like,
Right.
oh, then trying to fill everybody in and everything like that, it becomes more of a hassle.
No, I
Um,
agree.
yeah, the other thing I learned was, and this year I'm kind of dabbling with the idea, is that I'm going to be taking breaks the month of December, or certainly the
Yeah.
last 3 weeks of December, and then a good portion of July, because it's like just so much happens during those two time frames that it's like I'm just not going to run anything, you know.
I
You
guess
know,
a lot of people check out too. I mean, they're
well,
just
yeah,
kind of
it's like
gone. Yeah.
you got so much going on, and July is a big vacation month for a lot of people and everything. So it's like, nah, I'm just going to take breaks those 2 times a year, and I'll save September's and January's for times when I start up new campaigns, because September I found is a time when a lot of people, their schedules change. You
Yeah.
know, myself as a school teacher, I um, I used to be like, all right, my schedule is going to be different this year, than it was last year or whatnot. And I mean, even as a semi-retired person, I still kind of follow that school schedule. And so it's like, all right, well, I pretty much locked in my schedule by September, so I can start a new campaign in September.
Right.
I can start a new. I would never start a new campaign in August. It's like the worst time. It's like because nobody knows their schedules. If they're college students or whatnot,
Right.
they oftentimes don't know what their schedules are going to be. So yeah, very. It's a hobby of primarily adults, and so we have adult schedules.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, but good on you for having being so active. I don't want to be preachy or whatever, but I would really encourage people to be active somehow, have something going on.
yeah,
Not necessarily as a New Year's resolution, because I think those has bad connotations as things you don't follow up with. But
yeah,
like I just feel like it just have some, even if it doesn't matter what it is, just have something happening. Like
yeah,
um, so these games want to be played, right? So
yeah, yeah, and like I said, people have to, you know, yeah, people have to pretty much try to lock themselves into, being as consistent with their scheduling as they can. And and I encourage people, like, if you do start going to conventions, to like go to small conventions and stuff like that, and just experience as much gaming as you possibly can. Don't jump right in and start running games. Especially don't run too many games. In your first convention experiences, but definitely get there and and try to play as many new games as you possibly can. Then once
right,
you get comfortable with um, the whole scene that is convention play, which is a totally different play than whether it's online or in person in your home or at a local gaming shop. Um, yeah, once you get comfortable with it, then you could start running stuff at there. But I would still suggest splitting your time 50-50. Run, no more than two games in a single day and look to play in at least one or two
right,
in that
yeah,
same day. And
yeah,
yeah, it's a good 12 hours to 16 hours of gameplay,
that's a
so
lot. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's a lot. But at a convention, you're paying to be there and, you know, you want to get the fullest amount of it. But, I've been liking to just do no more than no more than two sessions of running in a particular day and then take that middle block. I like having that
right,
middle of the day, 4 5 hour block. That's like I could just go around and just talk to people and, maybe squeeze in a couple interviews or whatever,
right.
but yeah, that's like my new policy.
Right. That's a good. I mean, being a dungeon master is it's a lot of work. It's like performing. It's like
Yeah.
putting. It's not. Let me be clear. It's not community theater. That's not what I'm
Mhm.
saying. But it's like it takes a lot of. I mean, you can run a session for 3 4 hours and then you come out of it and you're like you just came down from like, you
Yeah.
know, you're kind of exhausted at the end. So it's smart to kind of pace yourself out. Is that
Mhm.
Driving and Dragons? What's up, man? What you?
Hey, what's going on?
Driving's
Here.
here. What's up,
Yep.
Driving?
And
What's up?
you want a membership, so
Yeah.
congratulations on thanks to my ear trumpet. And let's see, Bo put in Robert's rules apply. I only run a game if one more than half the group show up. Yeah, yeah. It's again, it depends on the game system sometimes as well. Um, but yes, it's I agree. I'll run it with one or two missing players, but not more than that. Um, it just becomes too cumbersome.
I just wanted everyone to know I'm a real person. I'm not a talking condo.
Yeah, yeah, not a
I
talking
just,
condo.
I just feel like I'm in a David Lynch movie and I transformed into a piece of furniture or something. Yeah, I'm actually a real life person.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I have to run to a few gaming places around me to drop off. He gave me something like 60 of these flyers, so this is the Central New York gaming convention, so the role playing gaming convention, June 12th to the 14th, 2026. And this is at the Burstone Inn, which is in New Hartford, New York. Don't mistake it for Hartford, Connecticut. It's New Hartford, New York. It's basically Utica. All right. And his color scheme last year's flyer was red. So he's gonna kind of mirror Beck me over the next couple years and cover you know try to capture that color scheme. So so yeah, movie meet and greet. This year's is going to be this year's theme is going to be, unless he's changed it, unless Roger has changed it, it's going to be Conan the Barbarian. So he's going to be showing Conan 1982 Conan, and then I am actually taking that theme and I'm running a Shadow Dark game that is a game session that's set in the age of Hyboria, and then I'm also running a an adaptation of Red Nails using
Oh, awesome.
Hyperborea Third Edition. So really excited to do that, and then I'm running Fallout there. So I'm running 3 games over the 2 days that I'll be there, and hopefully I catch a few other games that like I said, I want to play in Greg's game for Dragon Slayer, and then I'll see who else I get to hook up with and play in their games as well.
I don't know. Have you seen Greg's? I don't know if they're still doing the Dragon Slayer live play, but it's a lot of fun to watch. Actually, it's
Yeah,
I've been a fan of Greg's for like a long time, so it's cool to see him actually run a game.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm not a huge fan of sitting and watching live plays, because I sit there. I was like, if I have 3 hours to spend watching somebody playing, I'm gonna run something. It's just I don't have 3 hours to spend um, not running a game if I have a 3 hour block open.
no, I understand that. I usually
Yeah,
just have it on in the background if I'm doing
yeah,
something at home. Um,
yeah. It's on D&D. Yeah, it's on Diversity and Dragons channel
right,
that he runs that. Yeah, so
right. So what is Hyboria? Is that like a AD&D type style game? I heard a lot about it, but I wasn't sure what it.
Hyperborea is, yes, it's closer to AD&D first edition. It has it's kind of gonzo. There is some technology in it, so there are laser guns and stuff like that. It's based on Ashton Clark's some of Ashton Clark's stuff, and then obviously Robert E. Howard, a little bit of Cthulhu thrown in there as
Right.
well. So yeah, it's kind of
So a lot of
um,
Appendix N
yeah,
sort of.
it's kind of like it's kind of a mixture of sci-fi fantasy, obviously, with a little bit of Eldritch horror thrown in, and I mean, he does take some adaptations of like H.P. Lovecraft and stuff. So there's like Rats in the Walls is one of the early on adventures that I will be running my players through. Let me grab a couple of these. So I mean, so you kind of get a sense of uh, like, so you can see like this is the kind
Right.
of aesthetic that it's going with, so very Savage Sword of Conan kind of stuff going on. And
Right.
then I grabbed this one from him because I'm doing, if I'm doing Red Nails, I was like, I want some dinosaurs. And he says, oh,
Yeah.
this adventure has dinosaurs. It also has a like a an ancient city kind of setup into it. I was like, all right, there we go. So I have that, and then here was the character I played in his game, and yes, my character died.
Awesome.
So this was a ranger, and he said he died too soon. And then he laughed with cheers. Yeah, but it was a great game session too. But yeah, I love the system. It's a lot of fun, and looking forward to running it at a convention. Introduce players to it. Clark Ashton Smith. Yeah, thank you. So that is. I always mix up his name with others. So yes, Clark Ashton Smith. And I picked up one of his books on audio. That was like an anthology. So I've been listening to that. When I drive to my job. I've been off for 13 days, so it's like, all right, I can't wait to get back into the car and then spend my hour and 10-minute commute each way, listening to a book. Better than the radio.
Right. I haven't watched your Lamentations reviews yet. What sense have you gotten from it so far?
Well, I started with with Nebula, and so far I've done the physical, so
Right.
just the physical book, how the thing is laid out, and its art design, its art direction on the inside, some of the some of the fold out panels, like this here is like the encounters charts, that are in there. The book is absolutely beautiful. This thing is just a, I don't want to say a masterpiece, because that might be overextending it, but it is just so different than any other layout and design and art direction that I've ever seen. That it just blows me away.
Right.
You can see I haven't seen a book with this much art in it as well. This literally has color art in almost every page. There's some color art in here, so that just blows me away. So I will be getting to that and starting to go over the actual content of the book sometime this upcoming week.
Yeah.
Certainly not tomorrow. Tomorrow I typically do on Mondays, because Monday is my long day at work. So tomorrow I'll probably just do a short, continue my shelf tour, and then I'll set up the week with a off-script roadway and say what I'm going to be doing, gaming wise for the week, and then Tuesday morning is when I'll have a chance to probably do a long form video on something. Probably that. So let's see. Colossus of Iglorn was almost a universal monster film. In the alternate reality, it would be there with Dracula and Frankenstein. Interesting. I missed the list of games you mentioned at the beginning that you said we're going to run this year. All right, so Mirador. Mirador is one of my players. So this year I am running Dragon Slayer RPG, our Tuesday night game. I am running Gangbusters BX, the expanded edition of that. That is Thursday mornings. That's with Lee and with Paul. Looking for more players that Thursday morning, 9 a.m. to 11:30-ish a.m. Then Hyperborea 3rd edition is Thursday night game. We have openings in that slot, so I have 2 players there, and looking for at least 2 more. That would be very, very helpful. Then I am playing in an OSC game, which might start in about 2 weeks. That is OSC set in Middle Earth. So and that is Saturday nights. Still a little bit up in the air. I think we're going to be running from like 7 to 10 Saturday nights, Eastern time. Then I am running, now at conventions, I am running Fallout RPG and I'm running Shadow Dark. And then sometime in between all of that, I will be going over and playing Four Against Darkness, the expanded edition. So those are all 7 game systems that I will be running and or playing throughout 2026.
I have the original Four Against Darkness. I didn't even realize they came out with the expanded edition.
Yeah, they literally just came out with this like within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Does it work pretty good with a group? I haven't really had much.
Yeah, you can run it with a group. It's very BX,
right.
Very BX like with a group. Yeah, you could certainly run it with a group. Yeah, and there's tons of adventures and everything like that. And all of the older adventures are still compatible even with this expanded edition. All the expanded edition really does is it gives you encounters that are higher level, going up to like level 9-ish or so. And then there's there's some more character classes included in. So no Lamentations, at least for now. I'll see how the other, I'll see how the other game systems go. I'll play in Lamentations, but I don't have time to run a 4th game system. Now Lamentations I might look to see at a convention. Like I haven't scheduled any games to run at AutoCon, which is a 1-day convention here in my hometown. Only enough time to run 2 sessions, in this convention. And so I could technically run Lamentations at that if I wanted to, but yeah, I'll see. I'll see which, what I look to do at that one. But as a full time, like so Mirador, if you're looking to see like if I'm going to run like a campaign of Lamentations, not this year, no.
I gotta take off, so I just want to say thanks for having me, man. It's always cool to talk.
Yep, good to see you. Thanks a lot for joining in, and I'll see you probably next weekend as well. So Sunday nights at 7:00. This is usually my spot. And then I try to catch streams that come on after mine.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, thanks, man.
Have a great one. You take care. And while we're at it, I will do a giveaway. So my first 5 membership gifts, and there we go. So there goes my first 5 memberships, and let's see. Hey, Edgelord King. Nope, no, it wasn't. Yes, I use VTT. Old Desert Gal received. So let me see what it's saying here. So there is the first. So Safilma Moaga. Sorry, I do not know how to say that. Tommy Bravo, congratulations. Anish Nook, congratulations. Dr. Kynes and Old Desert Gal. All right, so you all got a free membership for the remainder of the month, and for a month, I should say, and then you can choose to re-up if you wish to during that month. You're welcome to join in any of my games where I have openings for players, whether it's on a extended period of time or just to, step in and maybe do like an NPC or something like that. Run an NPC for the other players in case you just wanted to step in and like kind of pug it, right? So pickup group kind of playing. So let's see, what else do we have here? And if you want to join in the chat, there is the link to join in and come in backstage. So again, what are some of so I had one person mention darker, which I'm not familiar with. So let me see what that looks like. Um, so darker. Oh, that's from the red room. All right, so that's from the red room. So yeah, I'll check that out. Which VTT do you use? I currently use like a bare bones roll 20. Um, I don't use its dynamic lighting because I found that that's kind of wonky, especially the fact that I import my maps in from other places. So and that one's the easiest, I think, for both myself and for players to actually use. Um, I have Foundry. I have some of the other ones, and they're very, in my opinion, they're very difficult to use. Um, um, yeah, so that's very difficult to think. I think I may have asked. Yeah, so that's it. I use Roll 20. I use Discord for audio. Although, from what I understand, and I have to double check it, Roll 20, I think they've much improved their video and their video and their audio from what they used to be. And I'm also leaning towards. I mean, I could possibly use Restream as well because I could bring up to 10 players onto Restream, and I haven't tried running anything on this, and using this as the platform for doing it because I could share screens, I can do all kinds of things on here. I can I can add various scenes onto here, not just like the intro and the other things. So yeah, this might actually work well for that. So I can try to do that. I can set up different. I can potentially set up different types of frames on here, and have multiple people on with some graphics. But I don't see anything like I could use various frames and stuff like overlays, and I don't see an overlay here for having the open windows that everyone can then pop their video into, so that we can see on an overlay. I have to look into that. That might be something that I look to double check and see if this will work as a good platform for Fantasy Grounds. I have Fantasy Grounds as well, and that's tough to use. And it really is. It's very challenging to figure out how to use that, and then you have to have your own. You have to have your own server. I think for it's either for Fantasy Grounds or for Foundry. You need to. I know Foundry. You need to have your own server set up so that people can join in. It's confusing as hell. Um, Foundry is definitely confusing as hell. Fantasy Grounds is still kind of challenging and um, yeah, not as easy to use as Roll 20 is. That's for certain. But Roll 20, you can't get too tied into using all of its. There's certain elements of Roll 20 that I'm not a big fan of. Like I'd rather have um, I'd rather have like some of my macros automatically carry over into every single game that I create on there, so that I don't have to keep on uploading a the same macro over and over again for each different game system that I'm using. and I don't like the way that it sorts out tokens that I include onto it as well. Um, I wish the tokens were not across every single game system, but only tied to the game system that I put them into. Um, and that way there is that separation. Otherwise, I have to sift through everything that I put in for gangbusters when I'm looking for a zombie for D&D Beck Me. That's something about Roll 20 that I'm not a big fan of. I'd rather have them in separate folders that are much more manageable to use than what they currently have. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as Roll 20 is concerned, you can go in there and you can find character sheets for hundreds of different games. Um, but they don't always all work very well. And that's the other problem with it. I don't know if Fantasy Grounds or Foundry has that same issue, but sometimes their mechanics just don't work on it because they're not generating the character sheets. People are uploading those character sheets. So you kind of um, it's kind of hard sometimes to find character sheets that work well with the game systems that you're looking to do. And then some game systems don't even have a character sheet there, at all. Um, and I do not know how to code, so I can't input one. Um, hey, Agile, how's it going? Yeah, I posted this like yesterday. So for some reason people don't get these things in here. They don't get the alerts, and yeah, that's a YouTube issue that it doesn't. And thank you so much for your continued membership, 18 months as a valued supporter, and yeah, I much appreciate that. And yeah, it's been, I'm looking forward to 2026. I think it's going to be the year of the OSR and independent gaming. I think that certain game systems out there that have been around are going to get a second wind, like Shadow Dark, and I think Dragon Slayer I think is going to start picking up some momentum in 2026. I'm certainly going to do my part in trying to promote that going forward, and probably in the latter portion of 2026. Um, Fallout, I expect to see some more Fallout out there. That is because the new season has started. So far the new season is doing fairly well. I think in the keeping to the storyline of what Fallout is meant to be, and that the actors in it are doing an incredible job as well. And I think it's a great series, and it's a great game system. I really do enjoy the game system, but like I said, Modifius does a pretty darn good job with its usage of IPs, and coming up with game systems that work around those IPs fairly well. Again, with the one exception of the Star Trek, the first edition of that. From what I understand, they greatly improved Star Trek in its second edition. But anyway, yeah, I think that you know, again, Shadow Dark is going to get a second wind to it. I think Fallout is going to get a second wind to it. OSC is coming out with an OGL-less um, um, agile. So I think that you're going to see that that will get another resurgence. And someone already mentioned that Gary Kahn is already posting like um, I guess their slots of what's being played, or going to be played there. And yes, I can't wait to see Sword World. Yeah, so Sword World USA is another one that I'm really curious to see, because that you know That's something that's the number one fantasy RPG in Japan, and it's finally making its debut in the in the West, and that's going to be something that I think is going to be very, very interesting to see how that translates over, and for a game system that's going to come from an Eastern perspective, and see how that really plays out and everything. I'm stoked. I'm stoked for it. I think that's supposed to is that in April? I think it's supposed to hit Kickstarter in April. Um, Let me see if I can pull that up. Let's see. Um, it's Munjin Gaming, and when is it? Now they're still saying coming to crowdfunding. Um, it still says early next year, so I'm not exactly sure when. But yeah, it looks really cool. Um, yeah, it looks really cool. So I'm definitely going to check that out. Again, if anybody wants to join in, there is the link to come on in backstage and come on screen and talk about some of your own gaming that you're looking to do in 2026. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to 2026, and a lot of the OSR stuff that I'm getting, and independent gaming that I'm getting into. And then I'm going to be going to some conventions and looking to play in some new game systems that I've never had an opportunity to play. I'm still waiting to get into a Mothership game. Maybe that'll happen at Rising Phoenix in April. Like I said, I have to. I think I'm going to extend my stay. I'm going to call the hotel tomorrow and add an extra day in there, just so I don't have to leave at 6 o'clock on a Saturday night. I'd rather have another game session Saturday night and just leave sometime mid morning on Sunday, and that way I can catch maybe two more game sessions during that stay. But anyway, um, yeah. So I'll see. I got to play it by ear and see how it goes. Um, you know, my family got very gun shy about me going to these multiple day conventions when when I went to Page last year. I came home with the flu, and that laid me up for 10 days. So they were not too happy with that. So it's like, well, I'm only going away, but I'm only going away for one night. So so I got to play that by ear. We'll have our Kickstarter in March. Nice, nice, very cool. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out too, and seeing. So yeah, and Agile, if you ever want to come on and talk about that beforehand, and we can really pitch that out there, let me know. Because obviously, it's it's a great thing that you know as little as I was able to contribute to that project, but it's just I'm so excited for it. I'm glad that it came together as well as it has, and looking forward to it, and looking forward to putting it out there. Um, Hey, you have a good one, Edgelord King. Good to see you as always. And yeah, I'll catch you next weekend. I will be back here on Sunday night at 7 p.m. next Sunday as well. Hey, Takato, how's it going? Good to see you. And, you know, always welcome to jump on in. Um, yes, yeah, yeah. All three of you, if you all can, get in on there, and we will definitely give it a boost. Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
Lots going on. So I think we might have another player. I got to double check with him and reach out to him for Thursday night. So
Sure.
yeah, so Thursday night we might have another player. I'm gonna reach out to him and see. Um, if not, we might have to search for another night. That's
I was going to say you were looking at Wednesday, right, or something.
yeah. I could
Wednesday night
potentially do
possibly?
it Wednesday if we can get more for Wednesday, but um, let's see. Let's see if we get a new person in
Sure.
on Thursday, and then we can go from there. Yay! It's Paul. Look, you have a
There,
fan
there
base
you go.
here. You have a
Yeah,
fan base here.
the haunted condo is a fan.
Yes.
That's interesting. Stan just got finished playing Feng Shui. That's definitely out of a very different zone than D&D.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool. Just finished playing Dangar Shui. I never heard of that either. There's so much out there. That's why I say 2026 is going to be the year of the OSR and independent games because there's just so much coming out there and so much more, just eyes on anything but Pathfinder and D&D 5e5 or whatever you want to call it.
sure.
And just so much stuff out there. And there can never be too much. I know when people say that sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, there's we don't need any more Beck Me clones or whatever."
Right.
If I stuck to that, I wouldn't have gotten OSC, and looking through OSC and everything, I'm like, you know what? I'm glad that I got it because it does do things that are different, and that's what I like about all of these different systems is that each one has another little component to it that the others don't have. And then, you know, so what if you grab 5 different game systems and you cobble them together to be your own homebrew that borrows from a whole bunch of different spots? It's like
Sure.
when when I was running AD&D first edition, I was using Castles and Crusades Critical Roles hit. You know what I'm saying? It was like um, when I was doing Castles and Crusades, I was pulling things from other game systems as well. It's just no one game system is going to give you everything that you want at your table. So you have to pull from different sources and everything.
Sure.
Dragon Slayer. I'm looking at Dragon Slayer, and then I'm pulling from a different a carousal system, from that other book, which I should be getting soon. In the because I ordered that, I should be getting that very soon.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's the thing. Those books, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Is like if you have cool rules for things within,
yeah,
BX clone type games, do that. But when it's like you go through the whole rehash of like I'm going to build my whole own system, it's like we've already got the spine and the skeleton. Really, you could add some cool stuff to it, but
right.
otherwise, all
Yeah.
you're really doing is you're making a fatter book that we're just going to take a little bit out of, and the rest is just going to sit on the shelf.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm waiting. Drive through takes about 3 weeks to get you like a print on demand thing.
Yeah.
So, sometimes even a little bit longer, so yeah, that should be coming soon though.
Yeah, with somebody mentioned that darker RPG. I think Red Room, they're done selling their own books just because they have to pay tax every time they print them and ship them.
Yeah,
So I think like now you have to. I forget where exactly you can get them now. I think you could still get
I
the
think Lulu.
PDFs.
I think
Oh,
only Lulu.
Lulu. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Lulu's the one
yeah.
that they're.
They're exclusively using Lulu now.
Well, weren't they like blacklisted by drive through or something like that for some reason?
They were, but I don't think they still are.
Okay.
Um, because they they took back. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Oh no, that's not what I want. Let's see if they are back on there.
Yeah, Lamentations had some interesting ideas. I liked how they did the thief skills, where it was just every time you leveled up, you got a certain amount of pips you can add to your d6s, because it was like you had it was like a d6 times chance. There was never any percentile nonsense, so it was very low
Right.
math.
Let's see. So let me see. Not Lamentations. Red Room.
Yeah, they're on itch too. I'm not sure. I don't think, as far as I can recall, itch does physical product at all. I think it's all electronic through them.
Yeah, maybe they're not on here anymore. Let's see.
But I know recently people have been having problems with Lulu. I haven't really got anything from them in bulk since like almost 10 years ago. So the quality's probably changed at some point.
Yeah, maybe they're not still here.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe they're still off. See, now I know that Venger has been reinstated.
Over a drive through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could still get Venger Satanis' stuff on drive through. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. So yeah, so he was off for a bit and then he got reinstated. I don't think you can get the one that the one that got him booted from the first place, the Good Samaritan one. I don't think that will be on there, but
What was that now? Was that Venger kind of like kicking the hornet's nest on purpose, or what
oh
was
yeah,
that all
yeah,
about?
yeah, that was the one about like it was the anti-abortion one where there was like a demon abort, like not really aborting, a child, but it was very, very much like
All right.
putting it, and it was like, yeah, this is demonic and blah blah blah, and so yeah, I don't think that one's on here. It was like, but all this other stuff is here.
Right.
But I doubt that one. So although I still have it in mine because in my library, because I purchased it before they
Gotcha.
before they release it. So yeah, I still have it, but it's yeah, that was a one that even I thought that was like a little bit. I was like, yeah, that was a little bit too much thumb in the eye kind of thing. It was like,
Yeah, it was one of those where it's like, yeah, you're kind of asking for it, really.
yeah, yeah. It was like, yeah, you kind of pushed it a little too far there.
Right.
So, but yeah, all his stuff is on there now. But the Red Room, I think they had an opportunity to get back in. All they had to do was pull the one. I think because I have that one, and it's still in my collection as well.
Yeah. I see. The ones that I have are all I stumbled upon them, like Blood in the Chocolate and stuff like that, where it was like some random freak is like, you don't understand. It's about like imperialism and this and that, and that's why it's banned or whatever. And it's like, not really. It was just a weird take on Willy Wonka. That's all it was. But
yeah.
Because they used kind of like little island folk as the what were they, the Oompa Loompas?
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. It is what it is,
Well, my AD&D DM was just telling me a couple hours ago while we were playing about how he was running a game online for some people, and he was asking a guy like an enemy was running away, and he's like, "Do you want? He's getting out of the way. You have like plus to thrown weapons. You could chuck your spear at him if you want." And the guy's like, "No, I don't want to lose or whatever." But later on, one of the players from California was like, "Hey, I don't know if you know, but we have a black player. So when you said chuck your spear, it was like." I was hearing this like
Yeah.
losing my mind. Like naturally, it's the California guy who's getting
Yeah.
upset on the behalf of the person he doesn't even know. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, dude, that's what he
Yeah.
meant.
Yeah. Well, that's,
Whatever.
again,
Yeah,
it's
the wanting to feel good and you have to assume the worst of other people. You don't
yeah.
realize that you're the bad guy. I don't understand. So
So, yeah, so I think that 2026 is going to be a great year for
yeah,
OSR and independent games. I think that I definitely want to take a look at the Gary Con and see. Did they say Gary Con or Gen Con? Maybe it's Gary Con. Well,
Gary
Gary Con
Kahn,
was
yeah,
always going to have more OSR stuff anyway. I mean,
sure, yeah.
just by design, I mean, it's going to have more
Well,
OSR
I don't
stuff.
know what system. Maybe it's leaning more towards 5e, but the Cosmere RPG. I don't know where
Yeah,
which way
that's
that's going to lean.
yeah, I don't know, and I mean, I've never read his stuff anyway, so I have
Right,
no idea of anything about it. It's like
right,
I've only recently heard of his name at all. I know he's had huge Kickstarters before as well. I was like, I never even heard of this guy before. Like two
right.
years ago, more than 2 years ago, I never heard his name before. Brendan Sanderson. I have
Yeah,
no idea who he was. You know,
I think really he only popped on my radar as like a fart in the wind because wasn't he the guy that finished Robert Jordan's books after he passed?
yeah, but I never liked Robert Jordan's books.
I never read him
I
either.
never
So,
liked
but that
Robert
like I said,
Jordan's Conan's. I was like, oh, this is trash. It's like freaking pastiche crap. You know,
yeah,
it's like no, it's like if you're doing Conan, there's only one. There's only one author. Well, no, two authors of Conan that you should be reading. All
mhm,
right, and that is Robert E. Howard. And I know a lot of people will say that um,
the camp.
Carlson does no, not DeCamp. DeCamp
Mm,
is trash. You know, it's um, the comic book writer for Conan. He did a great job too.
Oh, Jim Zub.
Roy Thomas. Roy
Oh, Roy
Thomas.
Thomas. There you go. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Roy Thomas is probably like next to Robert E. Howard. Roy Thomas is probably my second favorite. You know, because he did most of the Savage Swords,
Yeah.
and you know, his writing in Savage Sword is just it's Conan. It's almost indistinguishable from Robert E. Howard's Conan.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here. I thought they were. I know they're doing reprints of Savage Sword. They're doing a new. Oh yeah, there it is. Savage Sword Reforged, which is
Yeah,
these are the Roy Thomas ones, and they're
yeah,
reprinted in color and affordable at your comic store today.
yeah,
So there you go. And then they have a newer run just called Savage Sword of Conan. It's like a newsprint, black and white
right.
kind of run
Yeah,
of it, which is pretty good. Yeah, Jim
yeah,
Zub. I played the new Conan game with him at Gary Con last year. He ran
yeah.
it well. The mechanics are really nothing to write home about, to be honest.
That's the new ones, right? That's the
Yeah,
ones that replaced the Modifius.
yeah. What was it? The
Uh,
board game company Monolith or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's actually here. Heroic Signatures is the main. Carl Edward Wagner is the other, and I still put Roy Thomas above his. You know, but yes, he's a good author, but I'd still put Roy Thomas above Carl Edward Wagner. He's probably third in line
There you go.
before Lynn Carter and before DeCamp.
But yeah, there's a lot of OSC, a lot of like Dolman Woods popping up on the
Yes.
schedule. So yeah, they're doing all kinds of good stuff. And then, like I said, Kelsey hooked up with uh, Lurking Fears, I think is the group's name. So there's a whole load of Shadow Dark games being run by them on top of
Right.
Vaesen, Vast Grim,
Yeah.
Forbidden Lands. You know, a lot of mix of stuff. A lot of the Borgs. I kind of took them all off. I'm not. You know, it's just another clone. So I'm like, you played one, you played them all. Hackmaster's crazy. That's like a weird. Have you ever played Hackmaster? That's a strange AD&D rule set.
Yeah, I've played variants of it.
Yeah.
I played like Dark Master, which
Okay.
is you know, we played that at a convention, myself and and Decado. I think we were both in that same game, and yeah, that's like that's coming off a Rollmaster, right? And
No,
um,
not no. Hackmaster was like it was like a D&D, but it was very specific about weapon speed and stuff like that. It was a very granular D&D
okay,
where with its rules. Like I remember there was like a hokey jokey set they came out with maybe 2001 or 2000. That was the one that had the cards you broke out in the back, and they were almost like the community chest and chance cards in Monopoly that you handed out to players because the GM was like very adversarial. He was trying to kill the players, so you would have things that would like give you pluses to saving throws or make you target another player or stuff like that. It was very, it had this kind of interesting exchange to it.
trying to see what Agile is bringing up here about stupid as a service. I don't know if that's a response to something or what. I think Dragon Slayer slammed the door on any more OSR clones. No, I don't think so. There's so much. There's more room. There's
Yeah,
more
I
room.
mean that's the thing. Yeah, it's just my opinion. For me, it's like
Yeah.
all I'm saying is you'll get no money from me, but there's plenty of people that'll buy them. Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's really like a market that's going to get saturated. That's why when Venger was talking about the shadow darkening or whatever of the OSR, I was like, give me a break,
Yeah.
dude. You got outplayed. That's what it is. Like somebody designed something that
Yeah.
sold better. It
And
happened.
I don't think he was, because he certainly wasn't slamming the game system.
Mm-mm.
He was just like everybody. I think it was more of the bandwagonism that you see in certain with certain groups on YouTube. All right, and I think that was more what he was pointing out. And I agree with him on that. He was just not precise enough in what he actually meant when he said that, because it was that same very weekend that he played in her game, at GaryCon, I guess. And so he was like, and then later on he said, because I interviewed him after that, and he was like, oh no, he says, I didn't mean it as a slight against Shadow Dark. He says, I really do like the system and everything like that, but he was making more of a comment on the near nepotism that there is between the 4 or 5 100,000 plus subscriber YouTube channels out there that are either 5e or OSR and everything, whether it's, Bob the World Builder or, Professor DM or Ginny D or, any of those other ones, the Baron DeRops and everything, which many of these people I had met in person, and they were nice people. They were, very good people, but they're in this cycle of just promoting each other, in a loop, and there's no way for anyone else to break into that or to get recognition from that particular circle, unless in person, you know what I'm saying? But on YouTube, they're not going to back each other out. They're not going to. They're not going to let anybody break into that ecosystem.
Sure.
That they have of the 100,000 plus.
But that's the thing. Like him and Pundit and Grim Jim originally tried that with what was their inappropriate characters, like YouTube show. So it's like they tried and didn't make it. So the problem is like I forget who it is, but I saw them they were all together partying Thursday night at GaryCon last year. It was Kelsey, Professor DM, and somebody else, and I recognize them by face. But it's like it's all those guys that are kind of linked hand to hand who always support each other, and it's like
it's their own separate clique that, again, they'll recognize you and everything like that. I mean, when I went to page 2, they were familiar with me. They knew who I was. There's no way that any of them are going to come on my channel, because my channel is too tiny, and I'm probably a little bit too anti 5e,
Sure.
for even their stated OSR-ness, I'm just not, I'm clearly a conservative, more conservative than most,
Sure.
in their circle, that's for sure. And so yeah, they won't risk, coming onto my channel. Like I said, I'm too small
It's
for them.
it's like Agile's saying too. They have
Yeah,
agents, so it's very much
yeah,
like
yeah. They have agents, right?
it's very
So
West
because
Coast
they
in
have
that way.
agents and they create gatekeeping against anyone not sponsored by their agents. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I said, that's why I said it's like near nepotism
Right.
that goes on there, and and the run Chalt with Shadow Dark. Yeah, you definitely could.
Oh yeah,
And
easy.
it would probably be awesome too. It's like, but yeah, the team up we need is is something that I've tried to do. It's like it's hard to do it even within the smaller channels to get people that will, like pundit and inappropriate characters. You can't expect that you're all going to all of a sudden be 10,000 plus subscriber, 50,000 plus subscriber, or whatever.
Nope.
None of those people started working with each other until they were at 100,000 plus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they all got there first. Then they were like, all right, we'll collaborate more so.
Right.
And YouTube is trying to create that kind of thing, like with the
Sure.
hype and all that kind of stuff. But even
Well,
then,
they have that thing now too, where it's like people can have like combine their channels like during a
yeah,
show.
yeah, you can collaborate with your channels and
Collaborations,
everything.
yeah.
And I'm not too sure if that necessary. All I think that's doing is, and I will collaborate like with certain videos and stuff like that.
Sure.
It's a little bit clunky, number one, because you have to send out the invites separately and each individual time that you do it.
Right.
So it's like I share a lot of stuff with like Ducato, right? And he with me too. But we have to go onto Discord to hit the link in order to add it in. And every time I want to collaborate a video with him, I have to create a link to that video each and every single time.
Yeah.
I have to type in his address on YouTube each and every single time in order to generate that code to then share with him on Discord so that he can link into it and come. I was like, come on, this should be, the 4 people that I exchange with. All right. I put it in there enough times. I should be able to save it, which they do have a save feature, but it doesn't seem to save. And it's like, so I should be able to just do that automatically, and it automatically go out to the 4 of those channels, and that would be something that would really streamline that process. But if Takata was sharing my videos with people that follow his channel, we'll follow each other's channels anyway. We have pretty much the same viewership across our channels as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like there's very few people that I see that's like, hey, I've never heard of you before, never
Right.
seen you on my channel before. If I see them on Ducato's or some of the others like Shadow and Sons or whatnot. No, we're all within the same circles anyway.
Sure. Yeah, well, I think that's the thing. You're not going to build up a massive audience right away. It's a lot like what Agile Monk is saying is, these people are already kind of cleared. They have their agents, vouching for everybody. So
yeah, and yes, Arcane Library did
Yeah.
a lot of legwork before.
yeah, years, because like before
Yeah.
Shadow Dark, like the black hardcover came out, there were like work prints that you could have gotten off of drive through for the longest time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and she followed the golden rule of Kickstarter is that your product has to be more than 95% done before you even put it on Kickstarter. And the Kickstarters that you see fail or are like delayed by years are the ones that didn't have all of the writing done or practically all of the writing done ahead of time before
Yeah.
they ever launch the Kickstarter. The only thing that you should be waiting for on Kickstarter is art, and whatever stretch goals that you're going to build into it. If
Yeah,
you're like,
I think Cursed Scroll 5 only got delayed because of a map. That's it. They were just waiting for the
yeah,
cartographer to finish a map, so everything else was already done.
yeah, Kelsey's been creating for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was originally creating for 5e, ahead of time anyway. So yeah, she's been doing stuff for a long time.
And that's a start. Like, that's the thing. Even if people don't like 5e, I
Mm,
remember what's his name, Stefan McFarlane, Radney, something or another. I forget how the name is. It's a 3-name thing. I
yeah,
played with him over at Gary Con, and he'd been doing Pathfinder stuff for years. But I like
mm,
playing with him, playing his game. That's the thing. It's experience in writing and creation is experience, and
yeah,
she took that time over COVID to nail down that book pretty much and
yeah.
finalize it. So, which I'm still waiting for one that I backed in 2019. And
Mm,
anytime you give an update and it's like, oh, there's health problems, mental health issues, all this, it's like, guys, delays are delays, but don't
yeah.
give me a sob story because you're getting zero from me. Just tell me, hey, it's gonna be late. I don't care about your problems. It's gonna be late.
Right.
Understood. I
Yeah,
understand. Just keep working. But if
yeah,
they couldn't, but I've come to realize, like, if you couldn't get it done over COVID, where you were locked in your house with nothing else to do, you never
yeah.
wanted to do it in the first place.
Well, the shipping delays because of COVID was one. That was a totally different thing.
Sure.
But there were some that there was one that I was waiting for, and it's actually one of the few books that I was like, oh my god, I spent $20 on this thing, and it's utter crap, and I was like, it was horrible, and it was like that's one of the ones I'm donating. I was like
Oh no.
donating it at ShireCon. So
Well, is there
I'm
like
like,
an
I'm getting
auction
rid
or
of
something?
that, clearing my shelf of that garbage.
Yeah.
But it's that one was long, like that was like 6 years late. And it was something that was like maybe 50 pages long and very, very just cut and paste D&D BX
Mm-hmm.
nonsense, nothing new at all in it whatsoever. And I
Yep.
was like, it took you this long to put
Yeah.
this together? I said, I could have literally taken that and cut and paste from BX
Yep.
and thrown it together in 2 months, and had the same exact thing in 2 months. And it took him years. I think it was like from like 2016 to 2020. It might have been even longer than that. I have to look. It might have been like 7 years delayed. It was like crazy.
Yeah, these BX clones, they should start doing like how the Palladium books are, where there's those same charts that you recognize that they
Yeah,
practically photocopy into each of them, and just
yeah,
do that. Like, if you're going to be that lazy about it, don't give me the
yeah,
story about this is my passion project. It's like, really? You're pretty much copying half the rules.
yeah, yeah. Well, Palladium's kind of slow too. I mean, it took them a long
Yeah.
time to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The
Yep.
books are beautiful. I'm like, wow,
Right.
this is, it's actually worth the wait, but
And kudos to
why?
them for hitting funding, because after that, the debacle of that Robotech miniatures game, I thought they were toast. I was like, these
Yeah,
guys are never getting another crowdfunder out again.
yeah.
So
Well, we're still waiting for all the stretch goals for it, but
for what? Oh,
those are miniatures, so those are
oh,
those are going to get tied up in God knows what,
yep,
but yeah, it's like, I was like, all right, I got the key things that I really wanted was the two books and then the screen,
right.
but the other stretch goals, I'm like, all right, if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. But yeah, the other stretch goals were like mostly adventures and stuff like that. So
Mm,
and then figures. You were supposed to
yeah,
get figures for it. I bought a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures from Etsy for like $20, and these were like 70 through the Kickstarter, and those were like 20. I was
right.
like, they look like the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like not a, you know, it's
Right.
not that hard to have found, much cheaper versions of the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's why, like, yeah, when I watch, Stan over on Roger's channel, and they're talking about like, hey, what did you support this week? And Roger's got like 73 different things, and it's like, oh, I got the plastic miniatures for this, and the screen, and all this other stuff, and it's like, I don't know. For me, crowdfunding, half of the time, the screen is worthless. You flip through it, and you're like, I really wish they would have had this, this, or this, and the info.
Yeah,
The only time I've been amazed by a screen, I didn't get well, no, I did get a screen, but it was modular, and it was from Macris for Adventure of
yeah,
Conqueror King 2. And
yeah.
that was
Too
amazing.
many in that. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's too many in that thing. It was like
But you can
you gave
build it
me
to
a
your heart's consent. You
you
have
gave
like
me
all
a
these different
4-panel
inserts.
screen, and you gave me 24 panels. I
Yeah,
was
but I
like,
was like,
what?
this, you could do whatever you want with it. This is brilliant,
Yeah,
for that. That was like the only time I was actually amazed by
yeah,
a screen. Otherwise, I was like, yeah,
yeah. The only well, one of the most useful was Conan. The 2D20.
Mhm.
Modiphius's screen is great. Um, the only screen I've ever taken, looked at it, and threw it away was 5e's initial screen. I was
Mm.
like, what garbage is this? This is a total waste of time,
Yeah,
And I'm glad that Kelsey asked about the new screen coming out, like what you want to see, And the one thing I put in there was like, we don't need a random NPC name generator. I said, why is that even on the original? That's just so unnecessary to
right.
do. It's like most people will just jump online and do a fantasy name generator, and you pull up all kinds of stuff on there.
Oh my god, yeah. I forgot. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's an
I always
entire
get the screen too.
names by syllable. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. It's like it's unnecessary. It's like, no, I want more. I want utilitarian game screens.
yeah,
Yeah, I
XP for
always get the
treasure
screens.
quality.
To
Yeah,
me, it's like, because I think of, like Agile, and like Ducato said, I get the screens because I see it as a display piece to be at your table at a convention. So when people are walking
yeah,
by, they see the screen, they know what game you're running. You
yeah,
know, I like having that, real, like I like putting the map out on the table, at a convention,
sure.
so that they see, all right, this is the world that you're playing. Even if you're not using it for gameplay, it's just like something to put a graphic representation of the game system that you're running.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that introduced me to Hyperborea, he was with a group called Matinee Adventures, and so what he would
Mhm.
do is he'd have the customizable GM screen, so it looked like the red curtains from like a theater, and then
Yeah,
whatever he was running, he would put in the center, and then it was like curtains towards that. So they were all kind of stylized
yeah.
how they had it set up, but yeah, it was kind of fun how they did it. Each of the tables they called it like Theater 1, Theater 2, or whatever.
Well, that's
So
cool.
yeah, they had a fun little setup for their because since they were organized group, they just gave them a whole room and they would set up all the tables.
Yeah. So let's see. I always seem to get game screens too. Yeah, I think it's really important too. Um,
I think I got the OSA one. I'm trying to think if it's up like right over there.
I
No,
don't
it is.
have the. No, I just have the printout that you can print out. The OSC one, I forget. Is it? I think it's expensive, to be honest with you. I think it's a lot. That's why I was like, it has the replaceable panels. It does have the replaceable panels. I might have to get that. The OSC screen.
I do have it. Look at that. It's still in the plastic and everything. Time to see if Mike knows what he's talking about or if he's absolutely crazy. Try not to cut myself here. And naturally, yeah, we all bought this one, and then there's a new one coming from them. Oh, this is was this Stefan Pogart on the front, or no, Mullen? Oh, there we go. Yeah, saving throws, armor and AC, movement, class abilities. So this has pretty much got everything covered here. Downtime, dungeons, wilderness.
Yeah, I printed out I got the inserts so
Gotcha.
that, you know what I'm saying? Like I bought the PDF version of that, and then I just have to get one that orients the other way because those are landscaped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are landscaped. So I have to get one that's landscaped
Gotcha.
that
Yeah,
I can then just slide them in.
Gotcha. Yeah, because what I do, I've got two customized or customizable ones. They're like I forget what the hell they print them on, but they've got the sleeves, so you can slide them in the front and back. And I've got one that's like, I think this is A4 sized, each of the panels. And then
Yeah,
I've got another one that's smaller, that's like almost index card sized. And I
yeah,
like that because it's just like, I don't need this massive, you know, castle wall in
yeah.
front of me. It's only good, like you said, if you want to do a display for like at a convention or whatever to kind of pull people's attention to it.
Actually, that particular one there, I'm looking at it here now. It's only $15 for the premium landscape. It's only $15
For which one? For OSE?
for OSC. Yeah,
I was gonna say I bought it from Exalted Funeral on one of their sales. I was just like, oh, look at that! It was
yeah,
only a couple bucks, so I threw it in because I got this and
yeah,
I think the main rule book.
yeah. So maybe I will get that because I'm a sucker for game screens that are at least useful. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
that have some use to them for sure,
yeah,
which unfortunately isn't all of them. But you know.
right, right. So yeah, so let's see. Just got an alert. What is that alert? My Star Trek Fleet Command's shields are about to drop.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're doing some online phone stuff.
Yeah, that's the you know. There's a couple games I play on my cell phone and stuff.
Yeah,
So it's like, you know, that one there. It's kind of like you set it and you forget it for a while. You know, so it's like a very low impact game. But yeah. So yeah, I got to mix in some. I'm getting ready to restart playing, but I never played it for more than like an hour. I think is New Vegas. You know, Fallout New Vegas. You
oh, there you
know,
go.
I've had it for forever, and
Yeah,
it's like since the new series is basically, you know, setting you up for New Vegas.
yeah,
Um, so I'm like, all right, you know what? I hear that it has the best story. So maybe I'll give it a shot again and you know,
yeah.
stream a little bit of
It's
that on
hard
the
to
channel.
it's hard to say who the clear cut good guys are in New Vegas. It's very
Yeah,
much, yeah, you're going around dealing with a lot of people and making hard choices.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'll probably mess around with that a little bit. Um, and you've been playing Fallout 3 also, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit of it. I'm gonna give it a shot. And
Well, I'll have to go back to 4. My only thing was is I kept getting annoyed by that Preston Garvey coming up and asking, telling me about another settlement needing my help and all that. Like
yeah,
every 10 minutes, I was like, you got to stop, dude. There's got
no,
to be a mod
I
to turn
played
him off.
4 quite a bit, but I never really advanced it. It took too long to
Hmm.
try to find materials just to make you know, to make your own bullets and stuff like that. I'm like, come on. It's like it's a single player game. Give us a little bit more resources. You know, it's like
Right.
you know, it should be a lot easier um to find stuff. I found that Fallout 3, you just went around through a town and you find all kinds of crap and everything. You
Yeah.
know, Fallout 4 got a little bit stingier on that. I tried Fallout 76
Right.
and that's I don't know. I don't know how that has as many people still playing that. You know, I was like, nah, it's not a good MMO.
Mm-mm.
Um, you know, for it. And then
Fallout 3 really should be like almost study material for players to understand encumbrance. Because I remember like
Yeah.
fighting the super mutants in the Capitol and then like stumbling out because I couldn't walk. I couldn't fast travel. I was carrying so many Chinese AK-47s after I left the building that I was like slow crawling to a dumpster. So I could
Mm.
only imagine I was sitting there praying. I was like, I hope no, like, just a random bum doesn't come across this dumpster with my precious AK-47s.
Yeah.
Because then I dumped enough that I could fast travel out and then come
Yeah.
back. And because they give you that room in Megaton, which is pretty much just becomes your arsenal, like the Punisher, where you
Mhm.
just have those nuke catapults and all the other stupid weapons they had in there.
Yeah.
Fallout 1
Yeah.
and 2
So
the best.
yeah, I definitely have to get into it again. I
Yeah.
tried playing Fallout 1. Fallout 1 is like, oh no, I can't do it.
Oh, the
Well,
old isometrics.
yeah, I have
Yeah,
all of them. I do have all of them because
yeah.
the one time they were like bundled up, you could get, all four of them for like $20. I was like, all right, fine. Um,
Hmm.
but I did the same thing with the Witcher. I got like 1, 2, and 3 for like $20.
Hmm.
So I was like, all right, I think I played through a lot of Witcher 1. I started playing with like Witcher 2. I didn't even touch Witcher 3. Um, but yeah, that's another series I got to mess around a little bit with.
Yeah.
See if I can get back into that. I feel the same way about Diablo 1. Yeah, I played Diablo 2. I like Diablo 2. I never moved on to 3, and
You
4 is
didn't
still
need
out.
to.
4 is out there, but 4 took them like
Yeah.
15 years to release 4. It's like it took them forever to do Diablo 4.
Yeah. Four ain't great. It's like
Yeah.
you can play fun, and then you'll see the people that are playing pretty much to win, which kind of sounds silly, but it's like
Yeah.
the best tactics for the barbarian is like you're almost just doing MS Paint on your screen and whirlwinding around and killing everything and picking it up,
Mm.
and it's like those weird mobile games where you play like a hole trying to eat everything. That's all
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
But you just
yeah.
replace the hole with a whirlwinding barbarian, and I was just like,
Yeah.
that's no fun. I liked playing like with my spear bleed build and stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting there like I'm doing like the all right, 1, 2, 3 stacks, chop, kill him with one hit,
Yeah.
and then one guy just zips across the screen with a whirlwind and kills everything, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm playing wrong. I'm having too much fun playing wrong.
And Dude the Master is a great.
Oh, from
And if you
Fallout
do,
1, yeah. He's like a big puddle of flesh. It's kind of weird.
yeah, they're just repetitive. That's the thing with that's all
Yeah.
MMOs actually. They're all repetitive. It's just grind, grind, grind.
Yeah.
That's why I got kind of burned out from them. And I was like, yeah, at least in tabletop role playing games, there's no real grind. There's if anything, they discourage grinding. Some well designed systems will start saying, oh, if you're killing something like 3 hit die below you, you get no experience for it anymore. So you're not being the goblin hunter or whatever whatever that was called, right? It was like 10th level
Goblin Slayer, yeah.
goblin slayer. Yeah, you're like 10th level fighter, and all you do is no, I only kill goblins. I only fight goblins.
Yeah.
Going there, one man walking into a freaking goblin lair with like 200 of them and walking out unscathed. I was like, nope, I just focus on killing goblins.
That has such ludicrous logic to it too, as far as the anime, where he's like, "Well, I use the worst gear because if they kill me, then they won't get the good gear." And it's like, yeah, but you have a better chance of dying if you use the worst. It's better just saying you're a stupid show. That's
Yeah.
it. The
So,
music in Diablo 1, I had a feeling Mike would have liked the music in that. A buddy of mine at his wedding, like when they were walking in, they had like some Spanish guitar or something. And I was looking at my buddy, I was like, "Is this Diablo music?" It sounded very similar. It gets into your ear. The old Tristram music from the first game.
the music of Diablo 1 changed my life. Oh, that's yeah.
There's a lot of those now. What do they call them? Boomer shooters, where it looks like Doom. I know they
Oh,
had
yeah.
that. What was that one called Bolt Gun? That's like a 40K boomer shooter. Like that's, I guess, was big on people's lists because it has that old school style to it.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I got to check out on Steam, and it's been a long time. And
Yeah.
I keep
You
on
get around to it sooner or later. Like that's the way I see it. Like I don't jump on immediately. I wait for something to get like 40,
Yeah, I wait
50%
about
off.
3 years. I wait about three
Yeah.
years, and then it's like, all right, it's $4. I'll
Yeah.
get it now.
Especially with Bethesda stuff. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that every time I tell people, I'm like, wait for the Game of the Year edition at 30% off at least. Don't buy it fresh because you're gonna be seeing all of the bugs up front.
The Fallout tabletop is a really good recreation of Fallout 4. Um, so it's technically Fallout 4 on paper. Um, you're just not. You're in. Now I know a lot of people don't like the setting of it because it's in you're in like Lexington and Concord. You're in the Northeast. You're in Massachusetts, basically. And for whatever reason, they don't like that setting. Um, I don't see what difference it really makes, but yeah, I like it. I think it's a fun system to run. It's a fun system to play. We're talking about Fallout. What's it like running Fallout? Um, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now, it does use the system of like tokens that both the GM and the player can generate. And I agree. Like the GM doesn't need tokens to up the challenge or whatever. If the players need their challenge upped, you up the challenge. I don't need a token to tell me what I can do as a game master.
Right.
I had the same view with the Conan 2D20. It had Doom and it had momentum, right? Players still generate momentum. The DM doesn't need or GM doesn't need Doom to do it. It's like if
Right.
my players are hesitating too much, they're jerking around, I'm going to throw an encounter at them. It's like, oh, you guys are just squabbling and making all kinds of noise, and now you have,
Right.
3 trolls to deal with.
Yeah.
It's like,
Especially if you're outside in Fallout. Like, yeah, if you just
yeah,
sit still for a minute, something's gonna come up and attack you. So
yeah,
yeah.
hey, I'm not going to throw a death claw at you, but you'll certainly attract something that's going to hear you guys squabbling over there, and now you have to deal with a pack of ghouls or something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think they added those currencies mostly for fresh GMs so they can kind of understand like, hey, sometimes you have to hit the gas. You can't just wait for the players to do
I think
things or whatever.
it's for that, and it's to offset the momentum system that they're giving to the players.
Right.
But again, I like to even increase the momentum system that the players get. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, 2D20 didn't need it so much because they were generating a lot of momentum anyway. Because anytime
Yeah.
you get additional hits that you didn't need, that generates momentum. So that
Yeah.
system, you generate a lot of momentum anyway. But it was
Yeah.
meant to do that. That's why I always say,
It's interesting because the storyteller system does that now. Like at least the latest one that Onyx Path made,
yeah,
the old Vampire the Masquerade one. That's kind of
mhm,
how it works now, which is interesting because it adds a little bit more player cohesion, around the table as opposed to previously when you play Vampire and it was like we had people in our group who always would claim like I can never roll a success on anything. So it's like it's nice to have that system where it's like, well, the guy who has really swingy rolls that gets a lot of successes, now you get to spend all the momentum. I won't spend any. And if you're going to claim your dice are cursed, go right ahead. Use as much as you want.
yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like I did that with Shadow Dark. I in convention play, I just started expanding. Anytime you roll an 18, 19, or 20, you're getting an extra momentum.
Hmm.
And you can bank up to 5. A 20 puts one in the general pool as well, the group pool,
Right.
and
Well, because those are
anybody.
failures, right? Because in Duty 20, you want to roll low, I thought,
No, no,
right?
no. It's high.
Oh, okay.
2D20 you want to roll low, yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
in Shadow Dark it's just like D&D. You want to roll high.
Right.
So I was like taking that system that has kind of like a roll with advantage kind of system built in, a momentum system built
Sure.
into it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to expand it. I'm going to be like, all right, you might start with one or two, but you can generate them on any 18, 19, or 20, and you can pool them in the community pool. And so if somebody, you know, if somebody is going to die, they can re-roll by taking three out of the general pool if they had none in their own pool. But if that failed, you'd still, you still die. I mean, I experienced that with J. Scott Garibay and the group, and he watched four players, their characters die, and they
Right.
were just eating up those coins like crazy. I was like,
Yeah.
you had three rerolls and you still died. Sorry,
And he
that's
he
the way it
still
was.
had a problem with that. It's like there's
Yeah,
only so much you can do to
yeah. It
try to
was like
save them.
they exhausted everything that they had, and I mean, they probably went through. Those four players must have went through like 20 coins, in that one situation. And
Wow.
they were just rolling crap ones. So I was like, oh, Jesus. So it is what it is. So anyway, but we're pushing like
About
two
two
and
and
a
a
half
half.
hours, and my wife and I both go back to work tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna wrap
There you
this
go.
one up. So yeah, yeah, PSTD. Yes, he definitely had post traumatic stress disorder from
Yeah.
that experience, and his character didn't even die. That would have been like really put him over the edge, But no, his character didn't even die.
Yeah.
But he was just traumatized at the fact that 4 out of 7 player characters died in one scene. I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So so anyway, so yeah, I am looking forward to 2026. I have 7 game systems that I am going to be either playing or running. Some at home, some in conventions, and I might have room for one or two more. We'll see.
Sure.
We'll see what really catches on during the course of the year, and yeah, I'm so appreciative of everybody who has been following along with the channel, and um, this past month has been crazy with the amount of new subs that I've gotten, new members that the channel has attracted. Really, since Christmas, actually, not even the last month. Since Christmas, the channel has just exploded. So I think I hit an algorithm that is doing well for the channel. So I
Sure.
appreciate everybody that comes in and you know um, sharing those links and everything with other creators out there, and some of my other videos coming up this week. I'm going to put out some other videos and do a little bit more of that collaboration moving forward. And yeah, as always, like I say, if you have a YouTube channel, don't don't be afraid to just put it in the comments section. Just don't do a link, because YouTube thinks that that's spam and they kind of delete your whole thing anyway. So just put your name of your channel on there without a link, and then we can share that out there. So yeah, and Agile Monk, yeah, definitely before your Kickstarter launches in March. Yeah, we've got to have the three of you on the channel, and we can talk it on up before that launches. And yeah, looking forward to it all. So everyone, you all have a great one, and you all have a great new year coming up. And Paul, hopefully
Sure.
Thursday night we're on, and Saturday, Thursday morning, we'll see. We'll see
Yep.
what's going on Thursday morning.
Sure.
And yeah, and I'll be in touch. I'll see if I don't think Thursday is a makeup day for me. So, but even if it is, I don't go to work until 1 o'clock. So our
Oh,
9
there'll be
to
plenty of
11
time.
should be fine.
Yeah.
All right. So
Sounds
I
good.
will see you then, and everyone else, thanks for joining, and you all have a great rest of your evening.